Welcome to the PWC channel. Once again, today we have the grand finals match of our speed tournament as this regular season is coming ever closer. Our speed tournament is also coming to an end. And funnily enough, it ends with the same match that was also the first match that I have covered of this speed tournament. It is Scary Monsters Overheaven versus Guil. And in the winners round 1 match, Guil just barely edged it out. I think it was a 1 or a 2-0. It was very close. Could easily have also gone the other way. But after that, SMO clawed his way through the entire losers bracket. And now these two are facing off in the grand finals match. So Guil obviously made it through on the winner's side. So this may or may not be the last recording or the last match of the speed tournament, because if Scary Monsters were to win this one, we would have to run it back in the grand finals too. But for the time being, we have the lead matchup with Scary Monsters with his cute and fun Oricorio, which is a Oricorio Fire in this case, matching off against Guil's Gliscor. And Gliscor, to me, it's not looking all too useful because it probably can't touch the Oricorio too well, and it's also gonna struggle with Serperia and Rillaboom and Swampert, but it might be somewhat useful if it's specially defensive, at least against the Magnezone, and it definitely provides an electric type immunity. But looking at it, Vikavolt probably deals with Magnezone good enough if it has a roost. Alright, so Guil reveals that he's Protect on Gliscor again. He was that in his semi-finals match, or winners finals match I should say, against Brad as well, and he is again, so he has Protect and U-turn. And Scary Monsters just reveals the U-turn on Oricorio, which doesn't honestly give away too much. Could be a Scarf set, could be anything else. Right, that's interesting. Now Guil decides to go into his Beedrill over the Eldegoss on the Swampert, which means that he's likely just gonna try and get off the Mega with his Beedrill and U-turn out probably into said Eldegoss, because Eldegoss really is a very free switch into Swampert, because it does have the Regenerator, and Swampert the only thing it can really do to hurt it is either Toxic or Ice Beam, which both of them don't hurt Eldegoss all that much in this matchup. Eldegoss might be quite useful for Guil. I remember it was also quite useful in the first match. The good thing is I don't... Wow, that did a lot of damage. 59%. Is this an offensive Swampert? I wonder. Interesting. Is Beedrill that strong? But it might also be a specially defensive Swampert for the Tapu Koko that Guil has with him. Alright, so Swampert at least outspeeds the Vikavolt and is able to Toxic it, which is annoying for Guil, because I'm not sure if Eldegoss gets Aromatherapy, but if it does not, Guil is not able to heal Bell that away, this Toxic, so it's gonna be there to stay, and which means that Vikavolt is now likely losing against Magnezone, which it didn't before. Right. Now SMO decides to switch his Oricorio right back in and threatening the Revelation Dance, which Guil does not have a fire resist, and that's gonna cost him here, because this hurts really bad, and this is gonna be a roll. Whether it will knock out the Gliscor right here, likely, and even if he gets the roll and does not get knocked out immediately here, this will still hurt him quite a bit. Alright, let's see. And he does get the exact same roll as before. So this means that the Gliscor will die upon re-entry, and these stealth rocks, depending on whether Guil has defog on some of his other mons like Coco, will be there to stay, and they will heavily annoy the Beedrill because it won't be able to U-turn around as freely. And yeah, it's just a nuisance to his entire team. I would suspect that the Vikavolt is heavy duty boots. I'm not sure if it's confirmed already, if it has switched into the rocks. No, it hasn't. It came in just before Swampert laid off these rocks, but yeah, I would suspect that at least the Vikavolt carries the duty boots, but Ditto isn't gonna carry them, and obviously Beedrill can't carry them, and it's weak to rocks, and it is a U-turner, so it gets even more annoyed by the rocks than every other mon. Alright, so SMO lets this Ditto weaken his... Oh wow, what was that? Okay, so Revelation Dance seems to have some strange mechanic that I'm not aware of, because this Ditto just tried to Revelation Dance after it got attacked by the opposing Oricorio. That's interesting. Guil says that's a field Batman. So I'm out of the loop with this one. I don't know I don't know the mechanics of this move. So I have no idea what just happened. So this Magnezone does not have any good switch-ins anymore because the Vagabond is toxic, and Gliscor obviously was gonna die upon re-entry anyway. So that's why many Bowfans here, SMO was free to go for the Volt Switch, which he did. Right, now in comes the Vikavolt, but this is really annoying, obviously, for Guil. So he can click Volt Switch himself here because he's probably gonna outslow the Magnezone, but Vikavolt being toxic still is bad news. I think this looks like trouble for Guil at this point. Alright, he goes into Comfy, which appears to be very specially defensive, only taking 25% from a Vikavolt Volt Switch. And Vikavolt is no joke. That thing has like a million special attack, at least like 140 or something along those lines. So that's a lot. And Guil goes into the Beedrill now. This obviously he's threatening the Poison Jab here to knock out the Comfy, but he could just as well predict the Magnezone switch in and go for a Drill Run here, because yeah, it's the Beedrill is a threat, but it's also on a heavy timer due to these rocks being up, so it can only get 4 more switch-ins. Oh yeah, 3 more switch-ins after this one, I should say. And yeah, that's not good for Guil, and it's not an easy path to win with it, because obviously it still has to be healthy enough to take a Grassy Slide at least. But yeah, Poison Jab, after this Magnezone is gone, like let's say he catches it with a Drill Run on a prediction here. After that, it really is a big threat, and almost winning the game on its own. Yeah, by just clicking. What am I saying? Almost. It wins the game on its own by just clicking PJab. But it needs to be healthy enough to win a to live a Grassy Slide as well as a Draining Kiss by Discomfy, which are both priority moves. But luckily for Beedrill, it resists both of them, and it also resists the Grassy Slide 4 times, so it's not gonna take as much damage. Alright, so SMO goes for the little bit of damage and predicts that Guil won't go for the P-Jab here, which he also didn't. He elected to go for U-turn instead. Now that's interesting. Yeah, but that meant that he was probably predicting some sort of switch out, either into Magnezone or into Oricorio for the sack. But yeah, so now we have this Eldegoss. Not sure what that's gonna do. It's gonna Leech Seed. Now SMO really is playing this to a T so far. this Eldegoss is not gonna be able to leech seed as freely because it's probably just set up for the Superior. It might carry Poland Puff, which is a bug move, which is very effective on this. Wow. As we see a U-turn, which... that's so strong. Alright, now this is looking more and more like it's heavily in SMO's favor. I don't really see how Guil pulls this out. He just doesn't switch into Grassy Slide as well. Oh, I mean, he still has Vikavolt and he also has the Ditto, so I shouldn't say that, but just the rocks being up and Beedrill getting, which is probably Guil's best way to win this. This is trouble, honestly. And there we go, the Calm Mind Comfy, which is what I wanted to see in the first match, because it would have definitely won the match for SMO. And now he appears to bring it. This is nice because this set can't be beaten by Ditto, so that's something you don't need to worry about. And now you pretty much force out the Beedrill, which is the only thing that really beats it at this point. And he predicts it with a stored power. But Guil makes the right move, in my opinion. Just leech seeding first to be able to get at least some health back on the Beedrill. But he's still in trouble now because I'm not sure if Beedrill lives a +1 stored power from... what does it come in at? Comes in at just below 40%, 37%. Not sure if it lives that from that range. Now that's interesting. Alright, so he reveals aromatherapy, which it appears to learn, so you can tell that I have absolutely no idea about Gen 7 and Gen 8 mons. Those are all... I'm a Gen 6 player, so I know all about mons up to Gen 6, but didn't know that it got aromatherapy. So this Vikavolt is a counter to this Magnezone once again, so that's good. Vikavolt is annoying for SMO in general. It really deals well with the Rillaboom, probably with Superior. Yeah, definitely with Superior, and also with the Magnezone. So yeah, that's something. Alright, here we have the Glare by the Superior. Always annoying. But this Eldegoss having Poland Puff means that it deals fine with this Superior probably. He really would need to get some hacks with this in order to work. Alright, this Magnezone is getting a little chipped. But probably also has the option to heal back up at least a little bit with the grassy terrain once it gets out again. So he can just Volt Switch here. And if Guil goes into Vikavolt, then the Comfy would come right back out. But Guil just decides to stay, and this is likely a specially defensive Eldegoss, so yeah, I agree with this, because he didn't really have to switch out here. And he decides to get rid of his paralysis with the aromatherapy. So now he's in against this big bad Rillaboom once again, which is likely gonna just U-turn. And what does he do? He goes into Vikavolt, alright. Yep. No, this is really well done by... Ooh, and he gets rid of the Vikavolt. Okay, I think that's pretty much GG, because this Revelation Dance is not gonna sweep. It is trouble a little bit, but I think Comfy can easily take this. Probably can. Now he should sack this Vikavolt here, he doesn't really need it. Unless it's Scarfed, then it is a way to revenge kill this Beedrill. But oh, he goes directly into Comfy. Now that was risky, but as I said, it appears to be specially defensive, so it's able to take it. I would have probably sacked something that's not as necessary, like this Superior. This Superior isn't really gonna sweep with Beedrill being around, and also this Eldegoss seems to be stopping it in its tracks. So yeah, he could have sacked the Superior here. That would probably have been the safer play, but it appears to work out for him, so he can stall out the 5 Revelation Dances that Guil has available here. But yeah, this Oricorio is honestly a nice win con for Guil, funnily enough. But yeah, these rocks are just so annoying for him. So the speed drill is in once again. So this time I feel like SMO is not gonna stay in with this comfy on the potential poison jab. So he should now go for the drill run if he has it. Oh, but he has a roost instead. Now that's interesting. Alright, so this changes things again. So now if he has the drill run, which I would expect him to. He saw the Magnezone on the opposing team, so I would expect him to have it. But if he doesn't, he can always U-turn out here into Eldegoss, for example, because, yeah, because he will whittle down the Magnezone eventually and get it into U-turn range. So yeah, this once again looks like the Beedrill is getting better again, because now it doesn't have to worry about the rocks as much. It's not as deadly. And yeah, looking at it, it just pretty much wrecks the rest of SMO's guys. So yeah, he really has to take care of his Oricorio, which appears to be Scarf to me, which would be the only thing to really outspeed and KO the Beedrill. Alright, so he gets rid of the Eldegoss, which means that Guil doesn't have a good switch into the Magnezone anymore. But this is still interesting. I feel like SMO has a slight advantage here still, but it's not as clear cut as I thought it was, because the speedrill has roost. That was really big. That was really big. Very good prep by Guil. But these rocks are still heavily annoying for him. So yeah, SMO goes into Superior here, which is definitely his most sackable mon at this point. Doesn't really do all too much for him. It lures out the Beedrill here, gives a free U-turn, but also forces it to take Stealth Rock damage again. So it might be a good deal for him. What? Why is this? What the hell is this? Is a Scarf Superior with Glare. Alright, now that means it's pretty much GG now, in my opinion. Wow, that was interesting. Scarf Superior with Glare. Now that's some grand finals tech here by SMO. Man, this is such a cool player. He started off in our minors league last season. He started off pretty poorly. Lost his first couple of matches, but then went on a pretty good run. So I definitely expected some things of him. In this tournament, I expected him to do quite well, but the way he tore through that losers bracket was really impressive. Now he reveals to be a Scarf Oricorio indeed, which is interesting. But yeah, this is very good. Keeping it, just a way to revenge kill this Beedrill, but yeah, obviously it's paralyzed now. It's not going to be as big of a threat. But this Scarf Superior, man, that's so cool. Scarf Superior with Glare. I would have never guessed. Huh, interesting. So it looks like we are indeed gonna see another one of these matches, a Grand Finals 2 match. GG, and definitely insanely well played by SMO. He really played this well, and he had very interesting prep that really worked out for him. Definitely well deserved. After running through the entire losers bracket from the start, he now gets Grand Finals 1 and resets the bracket. So Guil will have to step up his game for the second one. Guys, I will just turn off this recording for now, and we'll see when the second one happens. See you in the next one.